All right, everyone, we are live. Thank you all who have joined us for part one. A lot of views, a lot of likes. Thank you so much. That means a lot to us. But it is time to close out spring for the top anime for 2025. As always, we're going to do our honorable mentions first. We're going to say our three in order. So Crystal will say his three, then Star, then Ethan, then myself, and then we'll do our top 10 one by one
Excuse me.
as normal. Gentlemen, are you guys ready for to close this out?
Let's button this
Yeah.
fucker up.
All right, so Chris, give us your honorable mentions.
Okay, my honorable mentions. We're starting off with uh boy girl can a boy girl friendship survive? Uh I put it as my number 13 because as I mentioned before, it shows what not to do, what to avoid when seeking a potential partner unless you're into that, like someone being Batman. Um it honestly would have been better if he went with said Himari, fuck you, you're fucking crazy, and went with Enomoto. But people can't have nice things. Uh, that's my number 13. My number 12, which I uh, my number 12 is Gundam G-Cux. Um,
Ooh.
I I did not like a lot of the show. Yes, a lot of the show was pretty. The music was good. It was good throwbacks, but like that's what it basically lived off of. Uh, None of the main characters, aside from like characters who were from the original Gundam, were interesting. Uh, Machu and Yan were too crazy, like too focused on Shuji's affections that like they really couldn't. They weren't interesting. Uh, Shuji was just a bland character who later turned out to be Amuro, which was a stupid twist. And not to not actually have the real Amuro in this show, where you're basing the entire story on base Gundam. It really couldn't sell me, like to like give it a good score. Um, the fights were interesting, but like there weren't that many fights to like keep my interest. I finished it just because fucking Kenshi Yonezu made the opening, and it's a pretty good song. Um, that's my number 12. Uh, Number 11, I put Aharen. It's a good way. It's a good going out for the show. They did the ending pretty well. Um, it the only reason why it's not higher is because I had a lot of shows that I liked a lot more.
That's fair. Star.
I don't have any.
Oh yeah. He doesn't have a 13.
I don't have.
Okay, that's right. All right. So Ethan.
Like Horus Recoil is my number 13 by default. I had nothing else to put in that slot.
What's your 13?
Like Horus Recoil shorts,
Yeah.
because I had nothing else to put in that slot. Otherwise, I had 12 full shows I could count. 12 is Killing Slimes by default, because I would have much rather put Demon Sword, and I would have much rather put fucking what's the other one I carried over? Not Pockets. Pockets would have been on here too by default, but Witch Watch easily.
Yeah,
Witch Watch on this bitch too. So yeah, Killing Signs by default is number 12. I just grew out of the show. I don't really care for it anymore. It's a nice show if you want to watch an anime with your kids. It's not going to offend them in any way, shape, or form. Like it's a wonderful. I wouldn't say family per se, but it's something you can definitely watch with your kids and not have to worry about anything. But for me, I've grown out of the show. If they come back with a season 3, I'm a completionist. I will watch it and I will loathe it because that's just how I torture myself. Number 11 for me is Can a Boy Girl Friendship Survive? Um, Much to Chris's points, it's everything you don't want in a relationship and a friendship. It's toxic as fuck. However, at the end of the day, the animation was really nice. The musical composition was okay. It fit the bill for what it was, and the fact that the main characters get together at the end gives it some sort of credence for what little that's worth.
All right. Number 13 for me is also Light Horse Recoil. Yeah, they were short, but you know what? Short and sweet. They were good. There was nothing wrong with them. I wish I had a couple more minutes at least. Like, maybe making like 7 minutes each instead of 3. But you know what? Take what you can get. I still had fun with them. It may really how much I actually missed the crew, and I cannot wait for season 2. Number 12 is Atsutabi. That's Journey. Is it boring? Yes, but you know what though? I have been to Japan. I do plan to go back. I like learning from this stuff. Like if you are going to Japan, I would say check it out at least so just get ideas of where you might want to go. There can be fun stuff to see, whether it's Eden, hot springs, the hotels, shrines. They cover most of what people go for in terms of a tourist. So I liked it for those. It just wasn't great at the same time, but I would still recommend it if you are planning to go to Japan. Number 11, Shiyunji Family Children. Decent show. Is there going to be a season 2? Hopefully, but I just like a lot better. But it's just still wild that the youngest daughter is the one that's still wild compared to all of them. Say, I'm glad we're not related. That way I can get my hands on them. I got more balls. You got more balls than all of them. Like, goddamn.
I'm surprised these 3 major list entirely.
Threw down the gauntlet.
I'm so surprised.
I could have given it to Lazarus, but no. It almost did, but after those last couple episodes, like, you know what? No, I rather watch Like Horse than this. And that was pretty much what happened. Okay. All right, now we are going to do our top 10. So let us get right to it. Let's go, Chris.
This was originally number 7, but after the great point that Starman put out, Ladies Rock got dropped to number 10 because, man, it would have been nice to listen to the music more. But I still enjoyed the fucking them like fighting, cussing each other out in monologue. Was like, bitch, you're supposed to be like focusing on this thing. How are you having a conversation? Um, the only time I gave it a pass is when they first performed together on stage. And Lisa and Otaha were like facing each other off, and then Shiro fucking interrupted them. I love that whole fucking moment. That's the only moment I gave it a pass to. Every other moment can fucking needs to get fixed.
Okay. Starman?
All right. Matt, I have a question.
I have an answer for you.
Is Sword of the Demon Hunter still ongoing?
It's still ongoing. It just took a 2-week break.
Oh, okay. I thought they were gonna skip a whole season, then come back.
I would have put that fucker at 7 if I could have put it, dude.
Okay. Well,
I would have put it at 10.
If that's the case, I don't have a 10.
No.
Oh no.
9.
Did you
All right,
put
we'll
Let's
get
Watch
to you.
in?
No, I couldn't. It's still ongoing.
All right, I wanted to make sure you weren't gonna have an 8.
Shirley, literally like 2 of my favorite shows that would have topped off my whole thing. I couldn't even add because they don't end this season.
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, that kind of got me. Because I watched like 15 shows.
It hurts.
yeah,
and 4 of them, yeah, man, I came up short. That's
yeah.
it.
All right, Ethan. I guess it's your turn.
Yeah, number 10 for me is please put them on Takamine-san.
Of course.
At the end of the day, outside of the ecchi, right, which I loved, there is an actual decent rom-com story to this, and that is basically you have Shirota basically is starting to slowly step out of his like no one knows him character shell because of the fact that he's around the magnanimous Takamine. Takamine falls for him, and you learn early on that basically Takamine has known him since they were little, and it's up to it's up to Shirota to figure out that, yeah, we've known each other for this long and I've liked you for this long. And beyond that, Takamine sees all the redeeming qualities in Shirota. Normally someone of her stature would want to go with the popular hot boy, but she enjoys how vastly different they are, but how sincere and sweet he is. And so you see their romance continue to very slowly develop, and by the end, they both like each other. They're just both too stupid to tell each other. And there's a redeeming quality also with the ecchi aspect, and the fact that Shirota is very bashful. He's not a pervert, where he does his best, even though he has to put these underwears on a girl and has seen this girl naked so many times, has seen everything she has to offer, and he still gets bashful. He doesn't get horny. He doesn't sit there like, oh my God, I can't wait to see her pussy today, or oh my God, I can't wait to see her supple titties. He's not like that whatsoever, and I think that endears him to Takamine as well. My only knock is the fact that Crunchyroll had to have this anime. This should have 1,000,000,000% been on High Dive. High Dive does ecchi way better than Crunchyroll can ever fathom to do. I hate when a ecchi is on Crunchyroll, and that is
To
one of
be
my biggest.
fair, as someone who's reading the manga, you're not missing much. It's pretty much the same.
I'm with it. It's fine with me. It's a guilty pleasure.
Also, I know you had to put this at the bottom of the rung, but like, it's so wild that their whole fucking relationship starts off with her blackmailing him as like, oh man, you fucking molested me. How
Yeah.
dare you? You have to do this or you're gonna go to jail forever.
Yeah, that is toxic as fuck.
Yeah.
And she can do that at any point.
Okay, number 10. I'm an evil overlord of the Intergalactic Empire. I have fun. I didn't get much in terms of world building. It was just basically one fucking area, more or less. So in terms of plot, very basic, but I did enjoy the characters. I enjoyed why Liam had hatred from, his wife cheated on him in another life with his boss, and the boss got him fired. Even though it's backfired in this new world because he wants to be evil, but the planet's thriving because of him. Even though his family was a bunch of fucking moochers trying to get his monies, and that didn't work. Thank fuck that did not happen. Entertaining. I got a couple of laughs. I don't know if there's gonna be a season 2. I kind of wish there was because I did want a little more. And you fucking have Dio as the villain, who does also time and all that. So what? It's just more Dio. Let's give me more Dio. Make him. I want to see him suffer. If I'm not getting negative energy. That was probably one of the funnier bits. But no, number 10, Intergalactic Empire. Number 9, Chris.
My number 9 is My Bashi Witches. As I mentioned before, it's a cute musical show, Idol, of course. I liked it a lot, mostly because of how real the characters were. My Bashi Witches, the same for the music.
Yeah.
A lot of the characters were real. Yeah, sure, there were characters who some of them were like free spirited, doing it for fun, not really having like main aspirations for being witches. But one of them was like doing it to be skinny because she's chubby and she gets mocked for it relentlessly, and she likes dressing up cute, and this is the only place where she can be it. And she gaslights the rest of them until like in the beginning, and even like goes off on a fat woman who enters the store and tries to get her to go on the same level she is, and which helps her grow. And there's like more to it, but like it was a really good show, and I wasn't expecting most of it.
Okay. Star, do you have something for 9?
I do. I finally have something.
What do you got?
All right, this is what I have for my number 9. Wow, can't believe I don't have 10. This sucks. Lazarus.
No,
He had to count it.
Like, bro, I gotta count it. Like Lazarus. is dead last on my list. Like it would have been 10 because I didn't watch enough for everything to count. But basically what I have for Lazarus is this. It's like what I got from Lazarus was philosophy 101, post-COVID fan fiction with a side of misplaced ego and missed potential. This had everything going for it on paper. It had the soundtrack, Watanabe. It had the premise. It's supposed to be the spiritual successor to Cowboy Bebop, but somewhere along the way, it was cardboard dialogue, the overcooked pacing. You didn't know who the characters were. You didn't care who the characters were. By the end of it, there were no real stakes, and I dare say it, even Ninja Camel was better than this. So yeah, man. It had way too many flaws. Soundtrack was cool, but it was just way too many flaws, bro. Like, yeah, I'm good. Just probably, yeah, just to go down as like the biggest anime disappointment.
Yeah,
5 years.
Yeah, I think after finishing, I was like, I think we need to have a conversation about what Mr. Watanabe there.
Yeah, bro.
He peaked, man. I'm sorry. It's like he
I
peaked.
just can't trust Adult Swim anime, even if they don't produce it.
It's not him. What happened was Adult Swim pressured him into giving them another Cowboy Bebop, and that's where they went wrong. I promise you, if they would have just made something different, because how many times are you gonna copy Spike Spiegel? We got Mugen, and we got Spike, then we got Mugen. I mean, it's like I don't get it. Like they tried too hard to make him cool. They tried way too hard. And the best episode, I think, was episode 9. You got to the end of that assassin killed everybody. Wire. My whole thing is, in a world where people can even utter the nonsense that Solo Leveling was the best anime of last year, only because it was just high action junkie bullshit. I feel like you didn't read the room. Y'all spent too many years developing this anime. Y'all should have just made it an action packed nonstop adventure instead of trying to recapture the magic of Cowboy Bebop. When I'm gonna be real with you, Cowboy Bebop ain't in Watanabe's best anime. Only reason Cowboy Bebop is the legendary status it has is because it was better than every other anime that existed during that time. If you measure it up to most anime that came out in the past 20 years, Cowboy Bebop will not rank in the top 10. I said it. It's not top 10 all time. Cowboy Bebop is not top 10 all time. It's not. It's top 20 all time, not top 10. I can name 10 better than that. I can name 2 better than the same creator. I can promise. Well, not 2. I just say Samurai Champloo is better. But anyway, that's my tangent. Let me not go on the whole diatribe about it.
Go ahead. Pop off.
No. Cowboy Bebop deserves respect, but stop trying to copy it. It is just good for the time. It's definitely. Okay, it probably is a top 10 anime. I'm tripping.
It's still my favorite. I get why you don't, but
you get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
It's different than everything else, but it's like don't try to copy it. That's what Lazarus went wrong. They just tried to copy Cowboy Bebop, and it's like
Axel was like a carbon copy.
Yeah,
trying to do the cool parkour.
Yeah, just like don't do that. Like just don't do that. Just don't do that. Kara and Tuesday was better than this. Kara and Tuesday.
I could definitely agree with.
You know what I'm saying? But Watanabe, come on, dog.
Don't go to Adult Swim. That's where anime goes to die. I'm sorry.
Bro.
I'm not. Actually, no. I'm not sorry. No, anime goes to die. Adult Swim. Don't make anything for them.
Yeah, bro. Let's stay away from.
Just post it. Just you can air it, but don't make anything.
Don't take their money.
What's your rating? What's your rating, Sean? What's your rating on Lazarus?
Lazarus is a
waiting for it, Matt. I'm waiting for it.
What am I gonna give Lazarus? I initially gave it a 6. After saying my spiel, I kind of want to drop that to a 5.
So that's like a 2.5.
Yeah.
Lazarus gets a 5 out of 10 for me.
Whoo! Shitter.
I gotta make a statement. Lazarus gets a 5 out of 10 for me.
And it still made top 8.
It needed to be said.
Top 9. Oh my god. I appreciated that tangent. I'm so glad I didn't watch it.
Right.
Number 9 for me, Zatutabi. Much to many of the points that Matt made. Specifically, I wanted to highlight just a little bit more on if you're going to Japan. When you go to Japan, everybody knows the typical golden route, right? The golden route is Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, or whatever order. That's the golden route. this show does a tremendous job of showing you that Japan offers so much more, and Japan's best things outside of Tokyo and outside of the Golden Triangle. The Golden Route is really good, but the best things you can find in Japan are when you go deep into the countryside and you want to see historical like landmarks. You see how beautiful the countryside is. You see how peaceful and quiet it is. You see the torii gates. You see the onsens. You see the mom and pop shops. Japan thrives, absolutely thrives on mom and pop shops that have been in business for generations upon generations. And for not all, I will be honest, Japan has a little bit of racism. They have a lot of adversity the deeper you go into the countryside to foreigners and people that don't speak Japanese. So it is imperative you do try to learn some sort of Japanese if you want to really survive and get the most out of your trip. But in any case, to see and get the sights and the sounds and the experience, Zatutabi covers everything, like Matt said, from Hokkaido in the northern part all the way down to Okinawa in the southern part and everything in between. So it's definitely a fun show. It's boring, but boring can be fun in its own way if you can appreciate those type of moments. Zatsutabi, as I mentioned previously in the previous episode, is literally just an adventure with girls seeking inspiration, having fun together, growing together. They're all adult girls too. That's another great thing about the show. They were all college age or adult age women, and they're just living life. And this is what typical. This happens so much in Japan with so many different people. But they just go on trips because Japan is so vast. It's no different than if you wanted to travel America here in America. You can go to any of the states and you'll find something to do and meet new people and experience new things, just like you would any other continent, you can say. So I appreciated it for what it was. It's not a world beater by any stretch of the imagination, but it was cool. It's nice and chill, what a slice of life should be.
Okay. Number 9, Rock is a Lady's Modesty. That this was what I dropped. I felt like there was not enough like conflict with the band. It was just we had the battle of the bands with that one, and then the boy band that no one gave a shit about. You really could use that for something. Like you could use it for literally anything else. I kind of want to see more of the mom. I want to know what happened. Willie says it with the dad. Mm-hmm. Like it's just a lot of stuff that was left unanswered that we're more than likely not going to get an answer to because I don't think this is going to get a season 2. So you're just like blue ball in the audience for that one, and you wasted it with another band. Again, I could have done anything without it, but here we are. I like the facial expressions, especially when they were playing the music. The inner monologue did get annoying at times. I get it here and there, but I think it was just too much of that. Like we get it. You're trying to one up each other. Just fucking the locker room stuff. I don't care. Just move on. Like I'm over that.
Fucking the locker room, lesbians.
Like do something. Like do something.
I want to counter y'all's point when I get to Rock.
Kind of what?
I said I want to counter y'all's point when I get to Rock. Just saying.
Okay, but anywho, like compared to the girls band shows, Bochi and girls band cry parts are better than this.
Lesser.
The Rock was nice, but I thought the episode just felt like a little bit of a waste. But it was more the characters, but I wanted a little bit more with them at the same time. So yeah, number 9, Ladies Modesty. All right, now number 8, Chris.
My number 8 is Ninja Assassin Under One Roof. As I mentioned before, I really enjoyed the humor of this. I enjoyed the characters. The slapstick or the humor was just on point for me. I enjoyed this show a lot. I can't really say.
Okay. Starman, number 8.
All right, number 8 for me is Rock is a Lady's Modesty. Basically for me, man, this show had no plot, no stakes, like no dream. There was no drama. It ignored every trope that would have made this a great, fantastic musical anime. What I mean by that is, you know how Blue Giant, somebody had the dream they wanted to be the best in the world. Nobody gave a fuck about planning to being the best in the world. They didn't do that. They went to this school where they could have exploited the trope of them living a double life. They could have really got into that, or the stakes, or one of the girls gets caught, and mom is like, I need you to quit playing this rock, or I'm gonna make you drop out of school. They could have had some kind of stakes. There were no stakes. Romance, no. They could have flat out, I'm in love with you, or someone, you got to choose between rocking a relationship or you trying to get this girl to see you, so you playing the rock, so you're expressing your feelings through music. None of that. There were no tropes, and just like you said with the band, we didn't care about the boy band. They literally just gave them somebody to chump off. They didn't do anything that made Bochi good, which was you get this complex character who, it's almost like a split personality. She comes alive and becomes a different person when she plays. Everybody was pretty much what you see is what you get. They did the double life thing in school as a premise, but they didn't dive into it, and they didn't do anything like K-On, where they kind of defy the odds and they take this thing far. It wasn't until the last episode they even mentioned that, like, playing at Japan Fest or whatever rock concert they wanted to play at. It was like, bro, like, what are y'all doing? Other than that, you know me, it's hit or miss when it comes to CGI. I did think it was kind of cool that it probably was mocap. And I love the facial expressions. And the music was dope when they weren't talking through the music the entire episode. But anyway, maybe they should have fleshed this out to 24 episodes. I feel like if it was longer and it actually had a plot, I think this show could have stood the test of time. But after I seen your boy Cao Ming, something like that, bro, I seen what they did in 12 episodes. I've seen what can be done with 12, 13 episodes. So it's a 6 out of 10 for me.
Ethan?
Number 8, right?
Yep.
Okay, let me preface this, by the way. So like Horus and Slimes were flat 3s. Boy Girl was 3.25. My 10 through 6 are 3.5s. And then 5 is where I take jumps. But my number 8, after hearing you guys lambast the fuck out of it, I feel like I moved it down a little bit, slightly, just so I can counter a couple of points. But you guys are all making fair points that it's hard to ignore and keep it where I had it, which like I said, I told you guys, and over the course of multiple weeks, I've told you guys I don't have as much faith in my 6 through 13 whatsoever. But I'll put Rocka's Lady Modesty as number 8 as well. And my 2 counterpoints is, in terms of the monologue, y'all are not wrong. I understand that point completely. My thought process with monologue, though, is every show to a degree does monologue, especially in critical moments. The best is when they don't. I concur. But a lot of shows will give you internal monologue during peak or critical times. And so we're lambasting Rock for that. But then why don't we lambast other animes that do similar things?
Oh, I'm tired of the exposition in fucking shonen, so especially the inner monologue of it.
I get that, but to answer your question, Ethan, it's because you're playing fucking dope music in the background and you have to turn that so many decibels low. So if it's about music, it's like we don't care about the background music when Trunks is from the chop freezer up. It's dope and we hear it, but you're playing rock, like you're playing this music and you lower it all the way down just so someone can talk over it, and then you bring it back up. It's like I can't get into. It's like you want me to feel the music and get into the music, but then you mute the music so I can hear somebody talking about something I don't even care about. When it's like I can see if they kind of like just. If they would have had a plot, the whole plot, like with the girl on the keyboard, if that would have made more sense, if the whole episode really was about you got to get better or we're going to kick you out the band. There was no real tension. They told her she sucked. She one episode, she came back. Now she playing, looking at her titties, like, oh, I can do this. And now she's just banging it out. And it's like, well, child, if you was going to show up and show out like that, why the fuck you talking?
Why didn't you have a come up episode?
Yeah, like
they did highlight it a little bit, but not enough.
They did. So that's why I didn't care about the monologue, because it was just like, dude, just let them play. Let them get on stage and then play.
Yeah, I agree with the majority of the points.
That's the difference. Like why I compared this to K-On, because I know you've never seen that, but in K-On, the girls do a song. And they do a whole song. That's the difference. When they're doing singing lyrics, you can hear the lyrics of them singing. Even when Pop Step had a musical number, they let Pop Step sing. She wasn't thinking the whole time. She was singing. So I'm saying if you're gonna sit up here and play these instruments where you don't have a singer, I felt like, dude, they don't have a singer. You're distracting away from the whole fact that this is an instrumentation by talking through it.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, why would you do that? You shot yourself in the proverbial foot.
Okay. That's a good counterpoint to my point. That's fair. Second counterpoint I had, which is a lesser counterpoint, is just the fact that the plot should have been better. I agree with all three of y'all points when it comes to that. There is a little bit of a plot, and that little bit of a plot is them wanting to get to Fuji Fest. And so this is the journey of how you get there. To Matt's point, though, will this get a season 2? Not. It's looking likely that it won't, more than it would. And then to Matt's point, then you've blueballed us on the real overarching plot, which is the plot that everyone cared about, which is the mother and the relationship that Lilisa has with her parents.
Yeah, you could have done more with that. You could have done more with the school about her trying to raise up to be a noble.
Yeah, you could have done that, and that's where Sean's point comes in, where you could have literally fleshed it out to 24 episodes, answered some of those questions, given us a little bit more, and probably expanded your horizons on getting a season 2.
Yeah, like what was her mom's relationship on this evil stepmother thing? Why she was like, "Baby, you've always been a good girl." It's like, no, like what was the relationship with her original dad? How did she get the guitar? Why does she have the guitar? How did like none of that gets answered? No one. It's like they didn't even dare to ask it. They just dangled it out there.
Yeah, and it is feeling incomplete, and so that's why all your guys' points made total sense. Why I should drop this from where I had it. I had it at 6 because I was like, well, it's music, and I enjoyed it more than the other ones. But then the more that y'all have talked about it over the last 4.5 hours, the more I'm like, son of a bitch. But it's about 3 and 3/4. But in any case, regardless, I agree with the majority of the things. So number 8, Rock's Lady Modesty, 3.5 out of 5, 6 out of 10.
My number 8 is a Haran-san season 2. I definitely liked it. I just liked a lot. I liked a lot of other stuff better.
Yes.
I did not care about the Aharon's childhood friend, who she thought they were no longer friends with. Like as soon as she got introduced and they reconnected, that was fine. But the fact she kept coming back and she turned to a one note of, oh, she's overthinking. Maybe they hate her, and when you find out she doesn't, she does a little crying thing, and I guess it got annoying. Like just shut the fuck up. Just go back to being a lost friend, a long lost friend. But I liked Ahara and Raido's relationship. I liked that they got married. Their finale was just great. I had them figuring out what they want, what they're going to do with their lives. Them getting married. They actually have a house. They got grandkids. Raido's just doing a whole bunch of shit. He's being writer. He's being action. He's being a movie star. He's an astronaut in space. He's like doing all this, and that kind of fits how Raido is. If you have watched it, like what me and Chris have. I liked a lot of stuff better though, but I still thoroughly enjoyed Aharon, and they were not gonna get any more. It ended on a sweet note. So that's number 8, Aharon-san.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 7, Chris.
My number 7 is on another show that I didn't talk about much, that no one else watches. The Two Perfect Saints, Saintis.
Okay.
This show had it's a villainous, not really type of story, focusing on this Saintis who's good at everything she fucking does, but her family and her and the people don't like her because she's kudere. Um, she's eventually sold off by her fiance prince to another kingdom, and things start to show up for. She's treated much better there. I really like this show because um, the going past the premise, uh, everyone's like, or I'm so bad at fucking explaining these because I didn't talk about the show, so I can't explain really like much about it. Um, I just like how the people work in the background to uh the Saintess basically has a younger sister who's super fucking pissed at everyone who got involved. And she works behind the scenes to get revenge and fuck everyone who betrayed her older sister. Uh, get revenge on them and fuck them over. It's just I really like the drama of it. It's really good and I really enjoyed
Okay.
how it ended.
All right. Starman.
All right, my number 6.
7.
Oh, 7. Okay, yeah, 7, 7, 7. All right, my number 7 was Kowloon Generic Romance. The character design, like, I've been like, what's the word? I have been canvassing to get a character design cake for some time now, and if we had one, I would give the character design cake to Kowloon. These was like my favorite character designs. It oozed 90s nostalgia. And what, like, I'm surprised, Ethan, maybe you caught this point. It took place during the early 2000s. It looked like a 2000s anime. The entire theme of this anime was nostalgia.
Did not, Sean. It officially took place in 1997.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
1990, I think it was 1997, and then they went back 3 years to 1994. And there is a point I'll make when I get to it.
It took the theme of this entire show was nostalgia. But I felt like that was the best part. It should have been a 2-hour movie. I feel like Kowloon just should have been a movie. I don't think it should have been a series. I felt like 13 was overkill because the last 4 episodes they spent all that time explaining everything, only to still leave me with questions on the last episode. I feel like maybe I'm just too used to shock value, but could have high A, B, or whatever. I felt like they could have shown her demise. I felt like showing that would have added a bit more weight. What would have really felt real, because it really felt like what really happened to you. She say she took these pills, but okay, I guess. Other than that, they gave you a good stories, a good sci-fi. It was a lot of up and down explanations of everything. Like I said, I love the character designs. I love it feeling like nostalgia, and I like the fact that there were so many layers of romance and love intertwined within it. From Philo's love to romantic love to like Eros, just like there was just unrequited. It was self-love, like I said before. It was just so many different types of love that everybody was experiencing in some degree. And that's really what I felt like made this anime shine. Again, 13 episode format didn't work for this. I felt like it could have been comprised into a movie, or at least maybe a 4 episode OVA. Still, that probably would have been a movie. Anyway, yeah. I gave Kowloon I'm comfortable with Kowloon having a 7 out of 10.
Okay. Ethan.
Number 7.
Yep.
Number 7 for me is My Hero Academia. This was really low on my list, and in the contrary to Rock, where you moved it down, you guys helped me move My Hero up. I have always been a proponent. Like I enjoyed the season. I just wasn't in love with it.
You're dying.
You're underwater.
I'm underwater.
You're
Is that
You were down. It's better now.
okay? Yeah, my mic just went in and out. Okay, I was saying that I didn't enjoy it the way y'all enjoyed it. I enjoyed the season as a whole for sure, but I was never in love with it like you guys were. Up until, and I can't say I'm in love with it now, but you guys helped propel it higher. With all of your points in regards to academia, or to vigilantes, I should say, is just, I don't know. I didn't get hooked on it. There were a lot of good elements to the show, but it was nothing that I truly was like, oh my god. You know, the nostalgia factor with seeing all the characters, like all the heroes, I should say, in their younger days or in their like prime days was really nice. Koichi, the more that you guys talked about Koichi, the more it makes sense and the more I can appreciate him. Pop Step, I really didn't care much about, and now you guys have intrigued me with something that's going to happen in season 2 that I can't wait to see. And then Knuckle Duster was just badass as fuck all the time. The American Hero, meh. I don't, hopefully he's fucking somewhere in fucking Hawaii and I never see him again because I didn't give a fuck about the American Hero. And it just, there was not enough for me. Queen Bee was really solid. was a really solid villain, and the way that you guys laid out like the principle of between her and Knuckle Duster once that was revealed, and the gravity of that made a lot of sense and ups it from that perspective as well. Character design, typical My Hero. Musical composition, typical My Hero. Nothing offensive, but nothing that really stands out in my humble opinion. So it was solid. It was definitely a solid show. It's not a disservice or discredit to the franchise, but I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Yay, vigilantes!" As of right now, it's solid. And if you're a completionist, you should watch My Hero Academia Vigilantes, especially if you can watch the movies. This is better than most of the movies, but even so, it is what it is for me. 3.5, maybe 3.75, but I'm confident leaving it at a 3.5 right now for me. Number 7.
Ooh.
Okay. Number 7. I really did not want to put this here. I enjoyed it in the beginning, but it was mostly nostalgia factor. Gundam G-Bucks. I wanted to love it. I had it high for a little bit, but just take the nostalgia factor away from the original Gundam. I love all that, but just the newer stuff, it just felt like completely different Gundam. And as like I was like watching two. It felt at times I felt like I was watching two different things, and I personally did not like that. Like one comment said that we saw is peak and ass at the same time. But I didn't hate it. People are calling it like the worst Gundam. It's not. It's far from it. It's not my favorite, but I will say like if you aren't a fan of that type of time that UC timeline, yeah, sure, watch it. Also, I'm always happy to see Sharback. He's one of my favorite characters. It was cool to see him. Like, what if he got the Gundam? Ma Chunyan, they were like I take it or leave it. Visually though, it is nice. I love the callback. I love how they did like the 80, like the callback for the old school with the music and how certain fights like were shot as if it was like with the POW and all that. I liked all that, but again, it's just nostalgia. I have to rate it as is, like as its own separate entity type of thing. And it could have been better. It definitely could have been better, but it's not the worst thing. That's why it's like in the middle. Also compared to everything I've seen this season, I think it's decent in the 7, the upper half. So yeah, number 7, G-Books. All right, number 6.
Number 6. My number 6 is Apocalypse Hotel. I went way too in over this throughout the last stream, but my whole spiel on this is I really enjoyed the story for this. The characters were all unique and interesting, and uh, it had a really good fight scene in the middle of it for no fucking reason. And it was, I mean, it was out of place, yeah, but it was still a pretty interesting fight. And when the plot twist happens right at the end, it's really it's a really interesting show.
Starman?
All right. Number 7. All right.
6.
Oh, 6. 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 6. Number 6 was Apothecary Diaries.
Okay.
What you said, Ethan?
I didn't say nothing. I raised my eyebrows.
You just All right. So the reason why is Apothecary Diaries is the definition of a character-driven show. I stand faithfully on that hill, and I will say it with my full chest that your ability to love and care about Mao Mao will completely shape your view, good or bad, of this series. Season 2 really did have some great moments, but trying to keep up with the inner politics of the Jade Pavilion really took some work. At a certain point, watching Apothecary Diaries just felt like homework. It just felt like work. I was watching it and just trying to keep up. The finale dropped all of the high stakes that it had built up. Like initially, this show was I actually got a rise when I got somewhat closer to the end, but once I realized, oh, none of the children died, they lived. And they kind of did that whole revelation. It washed away everything, and then Genji got his face scratched up because Shawty, she doing that, she dancing outside like, what the fuck are you dancing for? Then she gets shot, and then she ain't dead, and I'm like, yo, y'all playing with these stakes in my face. Why y'all playing with these stakes in my face? I thought it was cool that the hairpan saved her. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it was just kind of like, I don't like Mao Mao as a character. She's my least favorite character. I just don't like Mao Mao. So the fact that if you don't love her, you won't enjoy the series, I feel like that's just the fact of the matter. It's not a bad show. While I still fail to understand the hype, I guess I get the appeal. I don't understand the hype at all, but I guess I get the appeal. But I don't like Mao Mao. Mao Mao is, every time she come on the screen, I roll my eyes and be like, Shawty, I kind of hate that you the main character. I did stuff that happened with her and Genchi. I thought that was cool. But every time I really tried to revel in that, she ends up fucking that up. And I'm just like, I'm done. I probably won't watch season 3 because at this point, I just can't take any more Mao Mao, bro. I am Mao Mao the fuck out. So Apothecary Diaries for me, it's 7 out of 10. Because at least it looks decent. But yeah, that's as high as I can go with it. I couldn't give it a 6. I wasn't gonna give it a 6. I'm not shameful. I actually watched it with my eyes. It looked good. But yeah, I gave it a 7.
You're just crushing his soul every time you open your mouth.
Oh, I can't wait to go on a diatribe when I get to it.
Yeah, bro. I got 5 anime better than that coming right up.
3 shows. I'm gonna go on little tangents, and Apothecaries might be the biggest one.
Fire Force is better than Apothecary. I'm gonna save you.
What was it?
Well, Fire Force is better than Apothecary. But continue. It's your turn.
Number 6 for me by default, Shinji Family. I enjoyed it. At the end of the day, to me, the entire focus really was on Arata and how amazing of a human Arata is. That's really what saves the show. And also, you talk about character design, Sean. I think the character design in Shinji Family is really great in terms of styles and the way that they dress, the way that they look, the appeal. I love big magnanimous colors.
Yeah, they do the Power Ranger shit where everybody got their own color and that's their personality.
But I love how bold it is. I'm a sucker for bold colors in my life. And if an animation has bright, bold colors, I am automatically gravitated toward it. To your point, because you taught me about character design when it comes to styles through Rent a Girlfriend, the styles in this are really timely, really nice. It fits all the characters. They all have their own. They all have their own style. Their designs. I enjoy that aspect very much. Musical composition is okay. I do think the animation and the character design and the visuals are what set this apart compared to some of the other shows. But again, to me, I think the show really hinges solely on Arata and how good of a character he is. I enjoy a little bit of the drama between the characters, seeing who likes who. There's a little bit of drama involved with that, so that's cool. It's not my favorite by any stretch of the imagination. It's still a 3.5. I just enjoyed watching it a little bit more for all the drama and the craziness than I did the other shows. Originally, I had Modesty in this spot because I enjoyed the music, but y'all talked me down on that. So by default, Shinji Family gets 6. This is the spot I would have put Witch Watch in if I had the opportunity to. Likewise, 7, I would have put Demon Sword if I could have done that. For sure. I like those 2 shows and thought more of those 2 shows compared to the rest of the shows that I've already listed thus far. But it is what it is. Number 6, Shinji Family.
Okay, real quick before I do, I was gonna say number 6 to 3, they're all about the same. You could swap them anywhere, and it will still be like either the same grade or same ranking. It's just how they are for me. Number 6, My Hero Vigilantes. I have fun. I like the group together. Crueler, nice protagonist. Knuckle Duster's fantastic. I like Pop Step. Um, it just came down to I just want like a little bit better for different reasons, even just by like smaller things. I will say this got me more hyped for season 2 more than the original My Hero story did in the past few seasons. So I will definitely give it that. It felt like how I enjoyed like season 1 of My Hero. Like when I got started watching it, I got that feeling again from watching Vigilantes. Like basic powers, nothing too crazy nuts and too over the top. It was just a nice vigilante type story, and they did a damn good job with that. So that's why number 6 is Vigilantes for me. All right, we are at the final 5.
Top 5.
Top 5.
5.
DOA.
DOA, top 5.
All right, Chris.
My number 5 is Apothecary Diary Season 2. While I didn't much enjoy the first half due to how all over the place it was, it really picked up in this later half. I enjoyed learning more about the colorblind, the secret society group, the Fox Village, and their whole connection to the Empire. The uh, the only the revelation that Jinchi is the fucking crown prince was great at the end of last quarter. Was a good tie-in for what was to come in this part. And fucking, I hated what happened to or I hated what happened when I to fucking Lolan, and then like she fucking came back. That was fucking so good. I'm so glad she didn't fucking die.
Well, that's one split opinion on the show.
You want her dead?
No, I did.
No,
I didn't
Sean.
want nobody to live at the end of the episode. I would have loved this shit if everybody was like dead.
He wanted those
You
children
want-
to stay.
you want
He
historical
wanted the children to stay poisoned.
Yeah, I didn't want the children to come back alive. They didn't, just
Bro, just go rewatch Akame got killed or fucking Akudama Drive. Everybody did.
nah, bro. That's sad.
They all died.
Yeah.
It's impactful. They
But
all great anime.
But that's what really made it good. That's what really made Akame ga Kill great, was the fact that it was stakes, bro. These people ain't coming back. So I feel like you cheapen
The anime killed off too many characters that weren't originally supposed to fucking die.
And Akudama Drive, that was Suicide Squad though.
Yeah, it was.
Effectively.
Literally.
Effectively.
Yeah.
It's impactful. I talk about Akudama Drive.
They foreshadowed their deaths in the OP. If you paid attention to.
Yeah. So I still say Akudama Drive is the best. Like, we're going off a sidetrack. I think it's one of the best Funimation specific anime.
Oh, it's the easiest 12 episode. I would recommend that 12 episode of a lot of other shows people would
Agreed.
recommend.
Agreed.
It's a fast-paced, easy watch.
Agreed.
My number 5 is Fire Force, season 3, part 1. It didn't quite heat up the way I'd like it to.
Wait, is Fire Force a 2-4?
It's a split.
It's a split.
Fuck.
The next one is in
Oh
January.
man, damn! I would have put that as number 5 if I fucking knew.
Yeah. That's why it's my 5, because I'm waiting for it to get good, right? I'm waiting for it to hit up. Pun intended.
Wow.
Waiting for it to heat up, man. Pun intended. No, it set up the second part perfectly, but the pacing was ass.
Mm-hmm.
Pacing was terrible. This is some of the worst anime pacing like that. I'm like, y'all not the part. Only thing y'all did in his first season was set up his brother to join him, and Arthur got his new sword. That was probably the best part of the season, was Arthur meeting his family.
It's setting up for the final battle, which
Arthur getting the sword, the pillars, like the church,
all the reveals.
Yeah, all the politics, like the church pretty much just like, look, we want to end the whole world in a great cataclysm again and burn everything alive. And they're like, yeah, that's what God wants. That's what we gonna do. Like a good cult. I was like, oh, y'all is just a fire cult. And it's like y'all worship the sun. I get it, bro. The only thing that can stop a fire code is the fire department. Like,
And it was so funny to learn that, oh, Arthur, we're just gonna leave you to like fend for yourself at age 3, and then have 3 more kids in the
bro, his
sewers.
parents were terrible.
And
Like,
then leave his ass again when they finally reunite.
Yeah, they're fucking great. What parent would what kid wouldn't want those
they
parents?
didn't even leave him again. They're living in the city now, playing with the kids, taking them on all the vacations he never got to experience. Like, he's like, so where are your parents now? Oh, they're out with the kids. They're out having vacation, doing all the stuff they never did because they lived underground for the past 4 or 5 years.
And you now realize why Arthur's the most fucked up character. Oh man, time for me to just go into my delusion where I'm a Night King
I
to
love
get away from this
delusion.
fucking sick reality I live in.
Arthur's delusion makes this fun, bro. Like, just his
We'll
straight up delusion, and then they buy into his delusion. So I really like that a lot of the evil guys are jumping ship. They're coming back over to the good side. I thought the last episode was dumb as hell. I didn't want to see them find a giant fire kaiju in the water. I'm like, why? Y'all was just fighting everybody. Why y'all fighting this giant rock? Like, like, why? Like, bro, don't nobody care about this, bro. Like, and then Shira gonna meditate, and the other girl's like, oh yeah, you're gonna marry me. Yeah, I'm like, what, bro? Just get the season, just get a part 2. That's it. It just set up part 2 perfectly. But this part, other than being
You're ignoring the fact where it revealed that their Earth was actually our Earth.
Bruh.
I mean, that was dope. Their Earth was at. I saw that in Evangelion though. When they do that real raw footage stuff, it's like, yeah. The old world was our world. But y'all.
But I mean, you can deduce that anyway because it's Tokyo.
No. The word that
it's not Tokyo.
No, the word that they're in now is the Soul Healer world. This confirmed that Soul Healer takes place after this.
Yeah, but I mean, you still have Asakusa or whatever the fuck, and that's a legitimate Japanese town in Tokyo.
I'm not saying it's not. What I'm saying is whatever goes down because the World and Soul Eater ain't this same world, but I know it's the same world.
Sure.
Just spoiled that. No one knows that. That only gets revealed at the end of the series.
No, I mean, people, if you go online, you know that. I was like, oh, I'll watch Soul Eater, and then I started watching Fire Force. And
my point, I didn't research that. I didn't read that. No one told me that. It's just I seen Soul Eater, and they got that same moon, and I know the World and Soul Eater looks a lot crazier than this world. And if it got the same moon, I'm like, this got to be in the future. That was the only question. Which came first, Soul Eater or Fire Force?
I saw it online, and I was like, I'm gonna watch Soul Eater, and then I didn't get a chance to. Then I saw Fire Force. Then the connection came in where like, oh, this is like the Fire Force is the prequel. And I'm like, oh, then I'm just gonna hold off on Soul Eater until Fire Force is completely over with. Then I'm gonna go and watch Soul Eater. So I hear y'all. Number 5 for me.
Oh yeah, 7 out of 10. That's what I gave it. 7 out of 10.
Fair enough. I feel like Matt 5 and 4 fairly interchangeable. I put number 5 for me, Windbreaker season 2. I enjoyed the shit out of it. The fights are amazing. To Chris's point earlier that he made in the show, or in the awards, I should say, Sakura's development, although still kind of cringe in a way, is noticeable. He has progressed. He has matured and improved. The fights is what you're always looking at when you look at Windbreaker. The fights are great. And the backstory the stories that are intertwined through them are solid. Tsubaki's story is by far the best thing about this season outside of the fights. It was a wonderfully told story, and although the season finale was a little bit lackluster, it did do basically what season 1 did from that essence, which was basically set up the stage for season 3, which I very much look forward to. I still am of the proponent that I enjoyed season 1 more, probably because there were more fights. But season 2 did not take a major step back whatsoever. Like I said, I gave season 1 4.5. I gave season 2 a solid 4. Giving the series a 4.25, which aligns with what Matt gives it from his perspective when we talked on the podcast. I enjoyed it. I can't wait for season 3. Glad y'all put me on.
I'm upset. I didn't realize Windbreakers also ended last season too. I thought it was
What?
a continual. I thought Windbreakers was a continual.
No,
No,
that's the downfall. It should have been.
It should have been last time.
Yeah, it should have been. That's the whole point. After CNC, I'll get to that later. But yes, this confirmed it. Like they dropped the ball with not making this 24 episodes.
number 5 for me is Kowloon Generic Romance. I like the characters. Like Sean said, you know what? It probably could have been a movie or maybe a 10 episode thing instead of a 12 or 13. I not the great with pacing, and you can tell like some of it definitely did drag. Like until we actually learned more about the mystery did build up though, just the episodes in between. It either felt repetitive or just involved someone that you just do really care that much about it. The sci-fi part, like I didn't really get a whole lot of sci-fi, just except for the Mirage, basically. That wasn't like a main thing. The romance, as Sean said, with different types, like with different types of love, that is, yeah, correct. But if we're going by like just a straight up romance, it's just a little forgettable. If you look at it in that perspective, that's better. So I actually like that. I actually like that better than just think of it as just a regular romance anime. So I never respect it for that. I have fun. It is fun. I know they had the anime original ending, and there was no way they were going to drag this out to like 2, maybe 3. But so I'm glad it was just the one season. Yeah, it just didn't need to be 13 episodes. Probably could have been 10, and it'd be a lot better. Or yeah, just 10 or the movie, as Sean said, like 2.5 hours, depending on how they want to do it. But I have fun though. It's here for a reason. There was a lot more I wish I could have put on here, but you gotta make with what you got essentially. So number 5, Kowloon.
Okay, all right. I'm glad we agree. Definitely could have been, shorter.
It just didn't need to be 13. That's all.
It didn't need to be. It didn't
I'll
need to
try
be.
and sell it to you guys when I get to Calvin. I'll try and sell it to you as where it's all right. That's my goal now. We'll see.
We don't need to sell. We all watched it.
No, I meant sell it as in like to counter your point.
Okay, sure. Number 4, Chris.
My number 4 is Catch Me at the Ballpark. As I said earlier, I really enjoyed the.
I
You're
said
like far away from your mic.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the characters. The cast was all interesting and unique. It was just a fun, comfy show where it was just like better than most of the slice of life I watched this season.
Okay.
And yeah, I can't really go more into what I've already said.
No, you're good. You're good. All right, Star. Number 4.
All right, number 4. Okay, so for number 4 on my list, I have Sentai Dashikaku season 2.
Huh?
Dashikaku, Goku Loser Rangers.
Oh yeah, okay.
Ranger
Say that.
Yeah, man. Look, it was. I feel like they lost the focus in the second season. The Dragon Keepers weren't the bad guys, and you didn't hate them as much like you kind of did in season 1. They kind of had this redemption arc thing going on, and that kind of puzzled me a bit. Fighter D even got very annoying in season 2. Like he was pretty annoying most of the season, but I got to give credit where credit's due, because there were a lot of revelations that happened later in the season, and it was like a lot. They opened up the store, so you got to get more people's feelings and motivations for even wanting to take down the Dragon Keepers. And the Dragon Keepers came this close to being taken down by the news, by the media. And then when they popped up this whole monster, the Monster Protection Society, whatever they call them, you're just kind of like mystified. And yeah, you know, I didn't know you could procreate with monsters, but apparently you can't.
You can fuck anything you want to.
No, you know, just can't get them pregnant. But no, it was a lot of revelations that happened. Fighter D doesn't know what he's fighting for at this point. He doesn't know what he's fighting for. But there is a lot of stakes. I like the green Dragon Keeper. He's pretty cool. The new blue Dragon Keeper ain't that bad. The yellow Dragon Keeper, you find out the truth about him, and the truth about him changes the whole view of the whole series. Because you find out he's worse than the red. It's like, damn, you worse than red. Fighter D gets exposed. That's the big secret. He gets exposed. You know, his secret's out, but they're like, bro, we've been known. But you're fighting with us, so whose side are you on? He really has to answer that question. But they had some big battles in Power Ranger style. They come combining their weapons. It's really dope, man. Season 2. This is the first 8 out of 10 I'm giving for the night. It wasn't as good as season 1, but it wasn't like a big step down. It was just kind of like a back step. It wasn't like it didn't backtrack. It's just kind of like, you're almost as good, but you're not terrible. You didn't fall off. It just felt like it needs more, but I enjoyed it, man. 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I really enjoyed like Fighter D getting locked with Death Machia at the end. That was really nice. I'm glad they did a good job with that scene.
Yeah.
All right, even number 4.
Number 4 for me, y'all managed to knock it down from number 3, and that's Fire Force season 3.
Man, remember when he said his top 5 were unlocked?
Yeah, well, it's not locked in terms of where, like, I'm not moving it crazy places. The 5 is gonna stay in the 5. Wait till y'all hear number 3. Number 4, Fire Force season 3. I came into today realizing like, oh, it's not better than seasons 1 and 2. It's Fire Force season 3 is solely pulled, and I think for the remainder of these shows is going to be specifically my theme for the 4 through 1 is going to be what's called payoffs. Fire Force season 3, I agreed with Matt. The pacing in the first half was shit. Didn't like it. I agree with Sean from the aspect that Fire Force in the back half really set up the final battle really quite well. The payoffs specifically in that back half of the season were really solid. And I think, like as I mentioned, it's a theme. The payoffs, as you continue to answer more questions, you are able to really hook the viewer. And Fire Force in the back half really did that. Prior to that, though, it was just led by the fights. Incredible animation and visuals. Musical composition fits all of those fights and scenes really well, and it's just badass to look at. It basically ticks my mark of I'm a simpleton and I like badass fights that look fucking cool and are animated really nice. Check that box, no problem. I'm the opposite. I like Sean's point of where if you don't like Mao Mao, you're not gonna like Apothecaries as much, and if you do, then you'll love it. I feel that way about Arthur. He loves Arthur. I fucking hate Arthur. I don't give a flying fuck about Arthur. I know he's the second most OP character and he's going to be super essential to the battle. I'm fully aware of that. But I hate the principle that these fucking idiots continue to feed into this fucking idiot's delusion. I hate it. I fucking hate it. Y'all are some dumb ass motherfuckers.
Just wait till you meet Excalibur.
I don't give a fuck about Excalibur. The only Excalibur I know and care about is the one that's the announcer on AEW.
Chris,
he's the only motherfucker I care about.
I don't.
Chris, you get it, Excalibur.
Yeah, I know.
Who?
I'd much rather he calls his cock Excalibur. Call your cock that. That would make me fucking laugh more than your fucking little sword. The parents are shit. That was the most redeeming part of that whole 2 or 3 episode block is that we saw, oh, he's shit because his parents are fucking the worst parents that you've seen in several seasons on a fucking anime. Until we saw Takapi 2 weeks ago. They upped that shit. But even so, I didn't give a fuck about that. But outside of that, I still enjoyed the ride. I enjoyed Fire Force. I'm very much looking forward to the finale in January. And that's really all I got to say about that.
Okay. Number 4 for me, Shoshimen. You know what? I did like this better than season 1. I liked that it was more linear. I didn't care that much about the mysteries in season 1, but I get why they did it. Now, so okay, like you know what they're capable of. Now let's see what happens in season 2 with Osanai and what's the other guy's name?
Kobato.
Kobato, yeah. Osanai and Kobato. Get to see them separate for a bit, like after their breakup from Osanai going freaking psycho. I kind of was hoping she was being antagonist again, but as the only thing that deducted some points, like I want to see a little bit of her doing that again. But I like the case with the arsonists. Osanai just ruined Uruno's confidence in like seconds.
Grand fashion.
He killed it. She killed the man. She killed the man in public.
Not quite in public, but sure.
But out at night, out outside the open. If everyone walked by and saw this, like no,
You would have loved it if she did it in front of the school.
I would have, because he had this fucking ego, and he needed to be put in his place, and I'm glad he did in some capacity.
Yeah.
The second case, you know what, that was fine. We get a little bit more about how Osanai and Kobato met. I like the conclusion of that. We're definitely not gonna get season 3. The main story is fully adapted. I hope they have like some spin-off stuff, but that's really not important. But it did end nicely. I will definitely give it that. It got the season 1 taste enough. Are there better shows? You know what? Sure, but I don't have Anne and Hero X to basically be on my 2 to 3 basically. So unfortunately, that's what I'm dealing with. So yeah, number 4, Shoshimin season 2. All right, number 3, Chris.
My number 3 is Kowloon. I really enjoyed the mystery for this show. I really enjoyed the payoff at the end. The characters were all great and interesting. And it was great to have fucking Reiko just tell Kudo, that's the main character's name. Yeah, Kudo, to just fucking let her go. And just make she was allowed to be her own person.
Mm-hmm. No, that I liked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Number 3, Sean.
So,
all right, number 3 for me is Windbreaker season 2. It's Windbreaker season 2 because it set up season 1. It's the setup from season 1. It improved everything I complained about: the pacing, the character development. Everything was sharper. Honestly, it felt more like a continuation of season 1 than a flat out second season, especially with them opening up the whole season with a fight where they left off with last season. And I feel like Windbreaker really just should have been 1-2 core season. It should have just been part 1, part 2. Them splitting it up still doesn't make any sense. I feel like if you flesh it together, it's more digestible. But I feel like it delivered on everything I wanted it to do. Like we got, I don't know, we got character development. We got some less is more fights. It really just and they opened up about what's to come, about the new battles to come. So I'm more excited for season 3. But they gotta give me like, I don't know. I feel like Freerin is. I feel like what they're doing with Demon Slayer, they probably should do with Freerin, bro. Like either make this one long season, 24 episodes, or just make this a bunch of 2-hour movies. I feel like Freerin would be a great movie series. You could cut out a lot of the middle stuff and just give us a lot of fights. I feel like because Freerin, not Freerin, Bofrin. Bofrin, I feel like Furin, I feel like this is the one anime that is currently airing that you could take to Netflix or take the Warner Brothers or take to Hollywood and make live action right now. And I feel like you get a dope.
We are getting live action.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm just saying,
Okay.
8 out of 10.
All right, Ethan, what's your number 3?
Number 3. By the way, to go back on Fire Force, I gave Fire Force season 3 a 4.25 out of 5. So then I gave that a solid. I think I gave it a 7 out of 10 when I did it. Number 3 for me, Shoshimin season 2. Matt covered a lot of the points just now in his number 4. I will say this: when it comes to Shoshimin, I enjoyed, just like him, season 2 a lot more than season 1. Every single one of the stories, Matt thought they were good. I thought they were great. I enjoyed the payoffs. The payoffs were tremendous in season 2. The way they wrapped everything up was really solid. I enjoyed the stakes. Season 1, the reason why people didn't necessarily like, I would imagine, season 1 is because there were very minimal stakes involved up until the last arc with the abduction of Osanai. The season 2 had stakes from the jump. Arson, and then subsequently literally attempted murder, and then the finale was basically trying to starve off being murdered for this. Their gumption to want to solve mysteries continued to put them in perilous positions, and it culminated in them literally almost dying in the freezing cold on a rooftop, with them having to basically talk their way out of getting murdered by this fucking psycho that was hell-bent on killing them for all the wrong reasons. The payoffs and especially the stakes were really high for this, and I appreciated that very much. It is a little bit of a shame that we won't see a season 3, in my opinion. The fact that they adapted it so well to the news that Matt just said 2 seconds ago makes total sense. I'm with it. It ended really well. I wouldn't have minded the season 3, but nonetheless, I enjoyed the absolute hell out of Shoshamin. Least I forget also the visuals. It did win my visuals of the season. The visuals were tremendous. The way they shot that in movie format is unique to the show itself. No other show truly does it in that method that I've seen as of the times that I've been watching anime. And I know I'm more junior to the three of you, but I thoroughly enjoyed that aspect ratio that they shoot in. And then, as I mentioned in the last episode, the way that they go into the fucking panel shots of the landscape and how they capture that. It's really, really well done. Musical composition fits everything well. It fits the drama of the moment. It fits some lightheartedness when they're in cafes and things of that nature. I think it attributes to the show quite well. I'm sorry, acclimates the show quite well in terms of when it needs to have what note. So yeah, solid 4.5 for me as far as I'm concerned for Social Man.
All right, number 3 for me, Apocalypse Hotel. For something that I picked up late, I very much enjoyed it. Definitely a lot more than the other shows I had. I like a good post-apocalyptic world setting, and they did a nice job with the hotel. Like it's like Tasakari Hotel, like a different setting could make it seem so vastly different depending on the characters and everything. And I liked all these characters. I liked Yaochi. I like the other robots. It can be funny at times. It can be serious. Get a little bit of a dramatic aspect of it. It had a nice balance of everything. That was what drew me into it. I am happy that I'm happy I was able to pick it up. 12 episodes was plenty. Very fun. If you're into that sci-fi type of setting, that's stuff I would recommend in terms of checking out. So yeah, number 3, Apocalypse Hotel. All right, number 2, Chris.
My Hero Academia Vigilantes. This was everything I was hoping for when they announced it. I loved the manga when I read it. It gave me the fix for like the character development that My Hero sorely lacked in the later arcs, and it's just it's really great. I enjoyed Koichi, uh, learning, developing as a character. Hop Step, supporting him through her huge crush that he is too oblivious to see. All the side characters are fucking uh, important in their own ways. It's just so, what I really wish My Hero could be, but it sadly won't.
Okay. All right. So, man, Chris, we were almost twins. Like I literally had vision. I had that there. I had to think about things for a little minute. My number 2. I don't know about you, but for me, this was the best production of 2025 spring so far. Had the best animation, best visuals. And that's really what did the heavy lifting. I'm talking about Gundam Quirks. Gundam Quirks. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. That's my number 2. Really because of the style and the spectacle. I think that was pretty funny what you said, Matt, when you said it's ass
And peak at the same time.
at the same time. It was just like, yes, no, because it's like the elephant in the cockpit is basically the main characters of this show were flat. Their motivations flat, even more flat. Like literally, they got into a fight over a boy they barely knew that they both just
Yeah.
they were in love to. And I'm like,
I'm telling you, it's that autistic Riz.
I was
That's the
Bro.
true power of fucking new types.
new
Yep.
types, bro. This new type magic shit, bro. Like they do had the personality, bro. He had the personality of a baked potato. Like, buddy,
Oh, he's male unseasoned chicken. Is that what you trying to say?
Brody had no. I'm talking about like, see, Machu. You would think. Okay, my personal take is I think Machu was the incarnation. She was Amuro Ray in this timeline because of the red hair. But when you get to the fact that he fought Char, it's kind of like, oh, were you Amuro? I don't know. But like I said, if you are a fan of the original Gundam series, you will either love it because of the callbacks, or you will feel that it sat on the shoulders of the original and pissed on it. I feel like you're not gonna be in the middle. You're gonna feel like either they took their favorite original series and just pissed on it and just used it as a stepping stone to sell this new thing. But I liked it for that reason. I really like the fact that how you also said, Matt, that you feel like you were watching 2 different shows. I love that. I love the fact that I love the fact that you put Machu and Nyan in the same episode with Cassilia, and it's like, bro, y'all look out of place. Y'all don't even look like this the same anime.
Yeah.
I love that. I thought that was really cool because it still kind of fit. But the only reason this is not my number 1 show, despite the fact that the characters and their motivations were super flat, was the fact that this deserved the Witch of Mercury treatment. This deserved to have 24, 50 episodes. I just felt like it was way too short. I saw it in the movie, and that's really what sold it. Why I was like, yeah, this gonna top it. Because if you would have saw you would have saw the first 3 episodes, like how they made the movie, you'd have saw that in IMAX. Oh my G. Oh, I already made up my mind then this was gonna be best visual animation. Because seeing this in the movie was like nothing else. But it looks so good. That's what did all the heavy lifting. The plot and all character stuff, be damned. The
production just carried it.
The production, I'm talking production said, fine, like Thanos, I'll do it myself. Like that's literally what it did.
Get in the backpack, kids.
Yeah, it just literally just put you in the backpack and was like, all right, bro, I got you. Like the production just carried the whole show.
All right, that's fair. No, I can respect that part. It is definitely beautifully produced. I will definitely give it that.
Looks great, but oh my god, Machu is an idiot. Neon is even more of an idiot.
Yeah, I agree on that one. Ethan, number 2.
Kowloon generic romance. I'm going to start off with trying to do my best to counter your point. So the 3 of you say that it should be short. I agree that it should have been 12 episodes, not 13. They should have not done the anime original. I will say this. I did not feel, Matt, that the pacing was off by any stretch of the imagination. This is what they tried to do in this show is and they did it slowly, admittedly, but they very slowly built up what the mystery was. They over the course of the season, as they built up that mystery, they gave you little payoffs every couple episodes, and they continued to build with more questions. It is a layer of question answer given this thing. It's the rat. What is it? The stick in the rabbit or the stick in the carrot? They stick and carrot you throughout this series, and when they do that, they give you bigger bites of the carrot when you catch up. You get a nibble, and you get a bite, and you get a chunk. and then you get the whole rest of the carrot when it's all said and done. It is layered from that perspective, which is why I appreciated it. I found no issues with the pacing. I thought that the story that they told over the course of the 12 episodes was solid enough. It probably didn't need the original 13th episode, but it was fine for what it was. Not a humongous deal. I can respect Sean's point how it left you wondering and left you like having to like really question things, but I didn't mind that from my perspective. It left you wondering. It left you trying to speculate and try and put your own deductions together in relation to how the world was being built in that time and different ways that you can see the world being built. And some of that does lead to the overarching payoffs that you do get. I thoroughly enjoyed, as I alluded to in the awards, the 90s aspect. The one of my it's a minor criticism, but it drove me nuts that this show is set in 1997 with 1993 flashbacks, with that equivalent, and they all have smartphones. They drove me nuts that they all had smartphones. They
That's
should
why I
have
was
had.
like, are you sure about that timeline? Because they had like literally there was an episode where where Shawty needed money and he was just like, "Oh, I'm gonna use online banking to
Yeah,
send you this money."
yeah, no, it is this. I forget where it was. I read that, but it's distinctly set in 1997. Oh, I think it's one of the. I think it's in the show, like one of the years. It's like it's set
Probably just in that Kowloon, not outside of it.
in that. Well, no, the Kowloon is ahead of time. So the Kowloon the Hong Kong. Hong Kong is set in 1997. In that Kowloon, it is set to 1994 on the calendar, and it goes back. They do allude to it when they go through the demolition episode, where it said 3 years in the past. It's
It
been
is
3 years
based.
since they
It is
demolished it.
based off the actual Kowloon City District, which was destroyed in 1994. So 3 years later is 97.
Boom. In any case, it drove me nuts that they had smartphones, online banking. It was like that. That was
They have a giant fucking space satellite that's able to fucking recreate the fucking small ass town. We don't need to
well,
worry about the technicalities.
that's the sci-fi. I agree with Matt's point when it comes to the fact that the romance aspect is a back burner, and you don't think of it outside of outside of looking at it from that very aspect approach that Sean did, which I appreciated the fuck out of. That was wonderfully told, and I didn't think of it that way. But the romance part, if you look at it from Matt's point of it being just a flat romance, it doesn't hit. But that's not the point of the show. The point of the show is really, I had written this down, that there are 2 points of the show that are told when it's all said and done. The show, point A, is that you have to find your true self and live your true self. In order to do that, you must embrace yourself, embrace everything that is of you, and accept that no one can dictate or change who you are, because to live your true self means to live freely. They want to live freely. Kujirai wants to live freely, and Yaume wants to live. All the characters, they all want to live freely, and that's what really matters the most from that aspect. And point two, which I think is an even bigger point, in regards to Kudo. I often in my personal life wish I could go back and change time, go back in time, recreate time. You can't do that. That's not the way the real world works. You have to accept what has occurred, and you have to find closure and healing. However, you do that is how you do that, but you must accept that you cannot go back in time. Even if you could go back in time, you have to understand that things will not be as you envision them if you were to go back. Things are meant to be as they were. It is fate, it is destiny. You cannot change that. You can dream and pray and hope, but things will never come to fruition in the way that you envision, because that is not the way the universe acts. And that is a real big piece of why I enjoyed Kowloon. I can go back and talk on and on about the animation. I can talk about the character design. I can talk about the sci-fi. They probably could have used a little bit more sci-fi, but I enjoyed the sci-fi for what it was. This show, in my opinion, was so vastly different from what I normally watch, and that's why I enjoyed it so much. It was such a refreshing show, and I would thoroughly enjoy more shows coming out of similar ilk. It makes me, if I had the time, want to go back and watch more sci-fis of similar ilk from the past.
Like
And
the original Trigon.
I did see the original Trigon. But in any case, yeah, that is my main diatribe as it relates to that. With Kowloon. Kowloon, 4.5 stars, number 2.
All right. Number 2 for me is Windbreaker Season 2.
Hey,
I definitely like the fights. I like the soundtrack that went with it. I'm glad it took a breather in between from that fight to the next one. I didn't want just fight. I wanted to learn about the characters. I wanted to see how they interacted. Outside of that, I wanted to give a shit about it because I don't give a shit about just fights. I need more than just fights.
Not me.
I know you don't. Yeah, so that's why I'd like them to better because there's actual growth in it. Because yeah, we can get fights anywhere, but a good fist to fist, they did a good job with that. On top of it, I like both of the arcs, with the Keel arc in the beginning, and then the Pleasure District for the other one. Nice hype up for Endo and the other guy to end it. Should it be a split core or a continuous core? Yes, it should, but for just doing a 12, you know what? I think this was a little bit better compared to season 1. That's why I get number 2 Windbreaker. Enjoyed it a lot. I'm very excited for season 3 whenever we get it. I know they want to do the live action first. I'm sure we'll get an announcement after that. But no, I'm excited. I like that. I like the new introduction of the characters, fights. Like I said, fights, music, growth for Sakura, introduction to the kings, I was like Subaki and the others. So no, I'm excited. So yeah, number 2, Windbreaker. All right, number 1.
We've waited a long time for this, guys, and I've waited even longer.
Is it
2
Devil May
whole
Cry?
fucking seasons. 2 fucking seasons. I've waited for
I
King's
know
Dead
it.
season 2.
I should.
I thought he was gonna say Lazarus.
Why would
No,
I fucking Lazarus?
it's Devil May Cry.
No, it's King's Dead season 2.
Yeah.
I fucking enjoyed this. It was so worth the wait. Um, just like not even because the fucking opening is so good, but like the show really did like better in in it telling its story with getting you interested in the politics going on in the world and introducing you to the uh world itself. It's just it was so fucking good, and I can't really explain more because I'm fucking
What?
terrible at this, so I'm passing.
What? No, what show was it?
Uh,
Our
Last
Last
Crusade.
Crusade or the Rise of a New World season 2.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he was supposed to get it
I was supposed to get it in
October.
I was supposed to get it last year.
Yeah, and they got one indefinite.
It went. Oh,
hiatus.
hey, you like those 4 episodes? Too
Good,
bad you're gonna have
because
to
we
wait
don't,
for
so
the
we're gonna
last
fix
of
them.
All right. Well, my number 1, drum roll, please. No, none needed. My Hero Academia Vigilantes. Chris said a lot of the reasons. It reminded me of the first season of My Hero, why I liked it. Personally, I think stripping away UA and just focusing on some high stakes street level hero work is the smartest move the franchise made in years. Dark Deku was cool. But I feel like this feels like everybody's at that big party and it's crowded and it's hot and they just want to claim they're having a good time, and you're at somebody's house party and it's like, yo, this is a vibe. Like, not everybody's here, but I kind of like it this way. Like, it really just feels like with Vigilantes, you get to tell people, if you know, you get to tell people, hey, you're missing out. Check this out. I think you'll enjoy it. Now, I don't think you're going to see many t-shirts with the crawler on it or a bunch of, popped up backpacks, but I think this trio of heroes was like just way more interesting. They just stripped away the whole, like, I don't know, just not know. It's like you got a couple people with quirks and one guy who doesn't even have any. This guy's straight up Batman. Like I'm really poisoned. Could the crawler with prep time take Batman? Not the crawler, but Knuckle Duster. Like, and his name is Knuckle Duster. Like, come on, Knuckle Duster.
He's a Nick
Don't
Cage.
look- don't go
Batman
to-
and Kick-Ass.
Don't go
I
to
may
the-
not have a quirk, but I'm not out of options.
Right. So the finale did feel like a little filler, but they were able to set up the next season. They were able to charm us a little bit, give us some music. We got closure. We got some closure, and we got like build up. I feel like the last episode. I'm a fan of when you actually close everything in the penultimate, and then the finale you use that for closure. Because I think a lot of anime they close everything out in the finale, and you either get closure in the last 5 minutes of the episode or you don't get any at all. So I appreciate them just being like, dude, we're coming right back. We're coming right back. Don't even wait. And after I got my pop step spoiler, it's like, oh shit, let's go. I'm ready. I'm really pumped for season 2. Like, so this is my number 1. I give it an 8 out of 10. I'm satisfied. Man.
Don't go to Knuckle Duster's Wikipedia, please.
Yeah, what he said. Yeah, so Vigilantes has earned a spot. It will be cracking my top 10 for the annuals. Because as I said, every number 1 anime for each season gets a spot. So Vigilantes earned a spot. Congratulations, Vigilantes. You earned a spot.
Imagine Knuckle Duster with One for All.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. I literally thought of that same thing. Like, oh my, I know you had to give it to Deku, but my G, if Knuckle Duster got that power, bro, it'd be no. You couldn't give him that power though. He's an anti-hero.
Yeah,
he'll take it too far. He's like Batman for real. That's what
Knuckle Duster would just literally like hit check something and it'll just go flying 100 feet, destroy buildings.
Bro, just make him a suit. Just make him. He's Batman for real. He's this.
Give him All Might suit.
He needs the UA Tech Academy for sure.
Yeah, I think next season that is when All Might gets his suit. I saw that spoiler too.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, and it's in the.
Yeah, they showed it in the finale.
Right. Yeah,
he gets a suit. All right, number 1 for me. I said it was number 1 for weeks. It's no surprise that it stood where it was. Apothecary Diary season 2. I am not Sean. I love the fuck out of Mao Mao. I agree with Sean because I love Mao Mao. That's probably why I love this show. However, I will give you other points as to why I love this show. Again, as I said with the theme from 4 through 1, the whole overarching theme of this top 4 is going to be payoffs. I can agree slightly that the pacing from the first half was a little bit lacking compared to the second half, but nonetheless, as more things progressed in the second half, this show for me excelled because it answered every single question that has lingered since the second half of season 1. It took a while to get there, but I appreciate how they did it. Every single piece of the overarching mystery involving the inner palace, all centered when it boils down to it, after the backstory is told, it goes down to the pervert previous emperor, the pedophile. When it's all said and done, everything revolves around the previous administration. This show is about rectifying the consequences of the previous emperor's actions. There is immense fallout from those actions, and that gets spread throughout the palace, throughout many people's lives. People that get killed, people that get banished, people that are in all these different scenarios and have to deal with all sorts of issues. What's the word I'm looking for? There's a big word that I wanted to use, but in any case, all sorts of issues that they have to overcome, trials and tribulations that they have to overcome. And I think the payoffs in Apothecary Diaries season 2 were tremendous. Similar to Kowloon with the carrot and the stick. They would do the same thing, except it was even it was to an even greater level with Apothecary Diaries. They would give you a big question, and in the process, over that time that question formed, would give you more layers to and more answers to previous questions that were had throughout uh, the back half, starting from the back half of season one, going into this season two. The payoffs were tremendous, as I mentioned, from that aspect. I can respect Sean's thought process of keeping up with the politics is work. I can respect that. I didn't feel that way. I was able to keep up with it fairly well. It becomes something of like it becomes something of a web. You see the meme of the fucking crazy guy, and he's got all the fucking like the webs and all that leading to that center. When you are able to put that together and you're able to hyperfixate on the politics of that show, you are able to easily deduce where it is going, and you can see all the pieces and where they form and what that leads to and where that goes from there. I was really, really, really happy with being able to ride that ride. It is a thriller. It is a mystery that I am not used to because, again, similar to that, there's not many shows that do it to this level, in my opinion, that Apothecaries does. Mao Mao is to me, again, a tremendous protagonist where this entire universe indeed does revolve around her. However, her essence is what truly drives the change in the inner palace. A single female apothecary that was abducted against her will, forced to work in the palace, has fundamentally changed the existence of the administration and subsequently the company or the country. I think that is a tremendous testament to how Mao Mao is. She uncovers the Fox Village. She is able to deduce and put pieces together on her own. There is hardly any sort of assistance that she gets. And she speaks, and rightfully so, about the principle of solving mysteries. A lot of what we do when we try to deduce questions is we speak in conjecture, and when you speak in conjecture, oftentimes that may lead you to an improper conclusion that may have greater results in a negative light as you progress through whatever you're dealing with. But the principle of being able to use the conjecture that she conjures up she's able to really fortify that conjecture. She seeks avenues, she seeks resources. She's really good at pulling resources to be able to give substance to that conjecture, to be able to really give you a solid opinion. Where when it's all said and done and the mystery is solved or the question is answered, you have a definitive reasoning, definitive timeline, definitive process as to the when, where, how, and why. And that gives you more anticipation for the next steps. Is there more to it? There's more peeling of the onion, as we talked about throughout this entire series. I enjoyed that ride so fucking much. I cannot wait for the sequel. Cannot wait. Cannot wait to see what else unfolds. How she makes her way. It is inevitable. She makes her way back to the inner palace. I think she has endeared herself to that administration to the umpteenth degree, and she will become something of what her father is in a different light or in a different way, but still tantamount to that country as a whole. I can forgive some of the finale as it relates to the happy ending. I don't mind the happy ending. I don't mind if it would have been a dark ending either, but I can forgive some of those pieces. I thought it ended quite well. The happy ending was really nice. The end with Jinshi was cute and funny. It's the ship. It's one of the biggest ships I think in all of anime that people are looking forward to. Is the moment that they come together and they consummate that relationship, not in the sexual aspect, but the principle of actually officially being together. I think it is highly anticipated, and I can't wait for that moment to arise. And I can't wait to see how they maybe draw in some of the characters as they progress through that next season or that next movie to be able to bring them in and lend credence to whatever scenario that they find themselves in and find themselves as useful. Every character you see there has a purpose, has a reason, contributes to the story, contributes to Mao Mao's overarching development and Jinshi's overarching character development, similar to Kowloon from the character aspects from that perspective. I just thoroughly enjoyed Apothecaries so fucking much. Probably midway through the first half of Apothecaries. I always knew this was going to be a top 3 anime, and it pretty quickly got to number 1, and it never lost its place for me as far as I'm concerned. So thrilled with Apothecaries. Cannot recommend this show enough to people that enjoy thriller, mystery, anime, and good character development, and awesome animation, and wonderful musical composition, and wonderful character design. It checks all the boxes for me as a really good show that you can recommend to someone that may not be an anime watcher, and they may find pleasure in this show. I gave it a 5 out of 5. I don't care that you may think it's high. I say that with my chest. Love it.
Congrats. Woo.
7 minutes, 26 seconds.
Bro,
I was due one.
Like,
I was due one, and I saved it for my final.
I did. That I gave you your one.
And I saved it for the life.
If you were going past 10, I was gonna cut you.
No. It didn't hit me to an emotionally visceral level for me to go that long.
I can get rid of that. Number 1, Devil May Cry. We're out of here. I'm kidding.
that would have been funny.
No. It's Apothecary. I didn't rate it as high as him. It's for Mao, whether you like her or you don't, there's no in the middle, there's no gray area. I enjoy her. I get house vibes, minus her being an actual doctor. She's more of an apothecary. But she's house, basically. It's female house.
Without the joke.
I love house. So I like that we got to learn more about Jinchi instead of being just this eunuch that's just flirting with Mao. Like we get to know more about the empire itself with the previous emperor, the consequences of that, as Ethan said. At the same time, I wish I would do a little less of him once we found out about him. That he's Emperor Drake. That's all he's going to be now. So,
Emperor Drake. A minor.
Hey, Emperor, how'd you like him? Yeah. Well, that's kind of how they were back then too. So I can't knock it for being somewhat accurate.
That's another thing you can say about it. It is time accurate for 1700s Imperial China, because that's effectively what it is. Even if you wanted to go Imperial Japan, it is time appropriate, for better or worse.
Yeah, I'm still a fan of the music. It's still visually pretty. Soundtrack, I like that. They're trying to show a bit more human side with Mao with Xiaolon and Shui. I heard like maybe she could have friends. Maybe she could. Doesn't work out, and you get to see her cry. And I get why you're mad about the kids just stay dead. I agree, but with how they've been hyping up this.
Whoa! I wasn't mad about it. I was just continue.
You can't dangle the stakes in front of me, bro. Can't dangle the stakes.
Look, I agree. Maybe yes, they should have stayed dead, but at the same time, they've been hyping up this resurrection medicine that they had to do it. I was like, all right, fine. As long as I don't have to see it again, we're good. You showed it; it could be done. Go away. No, I like the conclusion of Lulan of how she broke free from Mother Earth. It meant like that side of her had to go.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I am no longer dead. But no, I enjoyed it. It is number 1. I wish I had other stuff too, but I liked it. I liked it for what we got. I like season 1, season 2. They're about the same. I don't like one better than the other. I like them for different reasons. But for season 2, it just explored more. So it's good. This is good for that. However, they're going to do the sequel. I'm looking forward to it. This is definitely one that they were probably going to keep going until the show's over. When is that going to be? I don't know. But as long as I have enough material to make it going, I'm just going to be sitting right there just watching. So yeah, number 1, Apothecary.
Number 1 would have been Anne Shirley, and number 2 would have been Tubi Hero.
Apothecary would have been 2.
2, okay.
Yeah,
Hero 3.
Hero would have been 3. If it wasn't all anthology, I probably would have given it number 1. But guys, with that, the cafe is closed, and that means spring is officially over, and we are here for summer.
Woo!
Next week. Thank you all so much for joining us. Whether it's Dirt Street Radio, Dope Network, YouTube, social media platforms, audio platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon. Just give us a 5-star rating. That helps us out. We have our gracious thanks. Follow Talk Cafe on various platforms down below, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Facebook. Follow me on Twitter, DamePhoenix12. Instagram, House Husband Cosplay. Follow Ethan at McDicey24 for his Instagram or at Showstopper24. Follow Chris at Chris Zephyr on all the social media platforms. Follow Sean, aka Starman on Twitter, or Rico Star. Check out his second album just came out along with his book.
His fucking book, y'all. He's an author.
I said I listened to the album yesterday. I dug it. I got the book. It'll be here next week. Can't wait to read that. Enjoying the Khaki Color Kid. Follow those adventures. You can do that on Audible, maybe on Audible, Amazon. Is it on Barnes and Noble?
Barnes and Noble is giving me the runaround, but it should be on Barnes and Noble soon.
Yeah. So go to Amazon. Just type in the Khaki Color Kid. You'll see it right there. The first 2 books are right now. Give them a read. They're a nice read, and then check out the music on Spotify. Rico Star, REEQO Star.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you for the
Star.
plug.
Yes, you're welcome. And we'll see you next week for our summer season premiere with some first impressions. Till then, Hoisumi, and good fucking night. Get out.
Sayonara, minasan.
The sun goes to sleep, I find myself in a heap because it hurts so much to be away from you. It makes my day when I get a text from you, but still I say goodbye again. Let's hope this isn't the last time that I see your face, but hey, it's fine. I know everybody needs a little space. There's no one to blame. Goodbye again. Let's hope this isn't the last time that I hear your voice, but it's your choice. I can't keep you here forever.